are the latest news headlines from the Caribbean and Africa. And in the news, in the past years, many Jamaicans have experienced serious complications in retaining well-needed documentation for the sustenance of their lives. The National Identification System is avidly promoting the National Public Key Infrastructure Project, which is expected to be completed in March of 2021. The project seeks to facilitate the production of digital birth certificates, allowing the public to go online and request a copy, which can be taken anywhere in the world and tied back to the National Public Key Infrastructure. The National Identification System is also working with Tax Administration, Jamaica Post, and a number of other government entities to digitize their services. Colonialism is seemingly paying off for a number of Caribbean nations, as islands such as the Cayman Islands are among a handful of overseas territories in the Caribbean that are being given access to a COVID-19 vaccine as a result of their dependency on their mother countries. France has already begun vaccinating residents of nursing homes and healthcare workers in Guadeloupe and Martinique. 237,650 vaccines have arrived in Puerto Rico, while 7,775 vaccines have been provided to the U.S. Virgin Islands. Cuba received 38 ventilators from China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs as the island nation strives to keep the COVID-19 pandemic in check. Chinese ambassador to Cuba, Zheng Ji, noted this to be an important show of brotherhood that highlights the unwavering collaboration between the two countries. Since the pandemic emerged on the island in March 2020, the Chinese government, companies, and social groups have offered the Caribbean nation various medical supplies. The Caribbean community has signed on to the COVAX facility, through which to access the COVID-19 vaccine, and with it the possibility of relief from the health and socio-economic challenges posed by the virus. Chairman of CARICOM, Dr. Keith Rowley, has stated that despite members of CARICOM receiving outside help, they should also look within, especially leading up to the CARICOM's 50th anniversary. And now the latest news headlines from Africa. But first, a word from our sponsors. A court in China has jailed 17 people for smuggling pangolin scales worth US $28 million from Nigeria to China. The gang was convicted of importing 23 tons of scales between 2018 and 2019 in the Intermediate People's Court in the eastern city of Wenzhou. Ugandan police chief threatens to beat journalists for their own safety and has refused to apologize for the violence of security forces against the media. Campaigning ahead of the January 14th election in Uganda has been marked by brutal crackdowns on opposition rallies. President Yoweri Museveni faces 10 other candidates, including pop star turned lawmaker Bobby Wine. Zimbabwe police have arrested prominent journalist Hopewell Chinyono. The arrest comes after Chinyono tweeted that police had beaten an infant to death while enforcing COVID-19 lockdown rules this week. Police later said the information was false. Chinyono is one of Zimbabwe's most prominent critics of President Emerson Mnangagwa's administration, accusing it of corruption and human rights abuses. About 10,600 people have been displaced following recent attacks in two villages in Niger's Tillaberi region, according to the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs. Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali are at the epicenter of one of the world's fastest growing displacement and protection crisis. The region is already hosting 851,000 refugees and nearly 2 million displaced people.